When learning the components of the truck and/or trailer, first you have to familiarize yourself with the proper use of the checklist. At the beginning of your training, you will be given the checklist. The checklist is going to be given to you at the exam site the day of your final test. Use it to keep yourself organized and to help not forget any items. Use the list to your advantage. The list is everything you are going to check minus the verbiage. Once you learn the components individually, then you can now actually combine them to not forget them. In this video, I will go over what parts can be bundled together and how the verbiage will be said for those items. Fluid levels. You are checking 3 items. 2 of the 3 can be mentioned together. Coolant and power steering reservoirs are both securely mounted, caps are tight and sealed, no leaks from the hoses and/or reservoirs. Both are between minimum and maximum. Fluid leaks. You are checking both the engine and transmission. I don't see any leaks of fluids from my hoses, and I don't hear any air leaks from any of my airlines. Since you have to check for fluid leaks on the brake drums and linings, you can combine the brake drum and linings now. Just add them by saying, I will check my brake drum and linings for any contaminants, such as fluid, oil, or grease, that would come from my engine and/or transmission. Suspension parts. I am checking my spring mounts front and back, my leaf springs, airbags, if equipped, and my shock absorber. All are securely mounted, all not cracked or broken, all have no missing hardware, and everything is tight. My leaf springs are not shifted or missing. My AR bags and shock absorber have no leaks. Tires and valve stems. I am checking my inside, outside, and the top of my tires. No cuts, no tears, no leaks, no exposed wire. My tread depth is 432 seconds or more. I will check with a tread depth gauge. My tires have the proper inflation. I will check with a pressure gauge. Where do you check? Valve stem. The valve stem is not cracked or broken, not leaking, and not missing its cap. Lug nuts and studs are not cracked or broken. No missing lug nuts or studs, no missing hardware, no rusty trails, and/or shiny threads to show any signs of being loose. AIR lines and hoses, my hoses and fittings on my truck, my hoses and glad hands on my trailer, no cuts, no tears, no leaks. My electric cable and plug on my tractor, and my electric cable and plug on my trailer securely mounted, no cuts, no tears, not taped. Everything is in a locked position and there are no leaks. The AIR lines and hoses are not tangled and not dragging on the truck and not dragging on the ground. Frames, the frame on my truck, trailer, and rear axle, not cracked or broken, no missing cross members, no missing hardware, and no broken welds anywhere. Apron, kingpin, and fifth wheel skid plate. Apron and kingpin not cracked, bent, or broken. The apron is on top of the fifth wheel skid plate. There is no gap and/or space in between. Fifth wheel skid plate is securely mounted to the platform, not cracked or broken, no missing hardware. Apron, kingpin, and fifth wheel skid plate. All are in place, all are properly greased, and all are not worn. Landing gear and clearance, landing gear support frame, crank handle, and foot pads. All not cracked or broken, no missing hardware. Crank handle is in the locked or stowed position. Foot pads are fully raised. Proper clearance. From the landing gear to the drive tires, they should not touch when turning.